I am a 20-year-old man working night shifts as a mobile security guard in Northern Europe. My role involves patrolling specific locations and responding to alarms from various clients, including homes, cabins, and business buildings. One night, around 1 a.m., I received an alarm from a neighboring city about 25 kilometers away. The alarm came from a house nestled within a forest. Upon arrival, I noted the absence of lights, leaving me reliant on my almost drained company flashlight. Though dim, it was my sole source of light. Stepping out of the car, I cautiously inspected the house's perimeter. It was then that I spotted an open door at the back, facing the darkness of the forest. With my pepper spray in one hand and the flashlight in the other, I entered the house to investigate a possible break-in. After checking the basement linked to the open door, I found nothing suspicious. However, I received a call from the company that forwarded the alarm. They asked if I had opened another door, because a live alarm had activated after I arrived. I denied opening any additional doors, assuring them that I couldn't have set off the alarm. They instructed me to search the entire property, including all doors. Though uneasy, I agreed and hung up. This incident left me unsettled because I knew I hadn't opened any doors. The fact that an alarm sounded after my entry indicated that someone else had opened a door inside the house. I meticulously examined every room, finding nothing unusual. No other doors were ajar. Returning to the entry door, I spotted footprints on the floor. They were smaller than my shoe size, leading to heightened anxiety as I contemplated the possibility of someone hiding within the house. Once more, I combed through the premises, but found no evidence of intrusion. I secured the alarms, locked up, armed the system, and returned to my car. To confirm control, I contacted the company, who assured me that all was well and no additional alarms had activated. I reported the situation to the search and rescue team before leaving. Perhaps this account doesn't strike you as frightening. However, in that moment, being alone in complete darkness, deep in the woods, equipped with a barely functional flashlight, investigating an open door alarm while another door strangely opened and closed nearby, coupled with unfamiliar footprints, was genuinely chilling. Despite my familiarity with this work, where most alarms are triggered by animals setting off motion sensors, this night's events felt distinct. I had an intense feeling that it wasn't a false alarm. If I were to speculate, I'd guess the back door was left unlocked, allowing someone to enter. Whether their intentions were ill-intentioned or not, I cannot determine. It's possible they hid in a closet or some other spot, exiting through the basement door when I moved upstairs. This could explain the footprints that appeared after I'd already searched the property. Irrespective of the circumstances, I'm thankful that nothing harmful occurred that night, even if no harm was intended. While I've encountered similar situations before, none involved doors triggering alarms that I hadn't activated myself. I share this story as a word of caution, urging you to maintain vigilance if you decide to pursue a career in this field, particularly when working alone. I am a 20-year-old man working night shifts as a mobile security guard in Northern Europe. My role involves patrolling specific locations and responding to alarms from various clients, including homes, cabins, and business buildings. One night, around 1 a.m., I received an alarm from a neighboring city about 25 kilometers away. The alarm came from a house nestled within a forest. Upon arrival, I noted the absence of lights, leaving me reliant on my almost drained company flashlight. Though dim, it was my sole source of light. Stepping out of the car, I cautiously inspected the house's perimeter. It was then that I spotted an open door at the back, facing the darkness of the forest. With my pepper spray in one hand and the flashlight in the other, I entered the house to investigate a possible break-in. After checking the basement linked to the open door, I found nothing suspicious. However, I received a call from the company that forwarded the alarm. They asked if I had opened another door, because a live alarm had activated after I arrived. I denied opening any additional doors, assuring them that I couldn't have set off the alarm. They instructed me to search the entire property, including all doors. Though uneasy, I agreed and hung up. This incident left me unsettled because I knew I hadn't opened any doors. The fact that an alarm sounded after my entry indicated that someone else had opened a door inside the house. I meticulously examined every room, finding nothing unusual. No other doors were ajar. Returning to the entry door, I spotted footprints on the floor. They were smaller than my shoe size, leading to heightened anxiety as I contemplated the possibility of someone hiding within the house. Once more, I combed through the premises, but found no evidence of intrusion. I secured the alarms, locked up, armed the system, and returned to my car. To confirm control, I contacted the company, who assured me that all was well and no additional alarms had activated. I reported the situation to the search and rescue team before leaving. Perhaps this account doesn't strike you as frightening. However, in that moment, being alone in complete darkness, deep in the woods, equipped with a barely functional flashlight, investigating an open door alarm, while another door strangely opened and closed nearby, coupled with unfamiliar footprints, was genuinely chilling. Despite my familiarity with this work, where most alarms are triggered by animals setting off motion sensors, this night's events felt distinct. I had an intense feeling that it wasn't a false alarm. If I were to speculate, I'd guess the back door was left unlocked, allowing someone to enter. Whether their intentions were ill-intentioned or not, I cannot determine. It's possible they hid in a closet or some other spot, exiting through the basement door when I moved upstairs. This could explain the footprints that appeared after I'd already searched the property. Irrespective of the circumstances, I'm thankful that nothing harmful occurred that night, even if no harm was intended. While I've encountered similar situations before, none involved doors triggering alarms that I hadn't activated myself. I share this story as a word of caution, urging you to maintain vigilance if you decide to pursue a career in this field, particularly when working alone. Greetings, I'm Trevor, a 23-year-old individual working in emergency response. Over the past 5 years, I've been dedicated to serving as a firefighter and medic, encountering a diverse array of incidents. In addition, I hold a secondary position with a private ambulance company. For those unfamiliar, this company specializes in transporting patients from hospitals to other medical facilities or their residences. During one of my shifts, we received a call to transfer a patient who had been discharged from a hospital. This patient was a 70-year-old woman with a history of psychiatric challenges. She had been admitted due to unusual behavior, although the nurses had reported her as calm and cooperative during her stay. Upon our introduction, the patient warmly greeted us and shared her name. Initially, she seemed ordinary and friendly, though visibly fatigued. There was a peculiar odor in the air, but aside from that, nothing seemed out of place. The transport was a short 10-minute journey, during which we completed the necessary paperwork and engaged in casual conversation about life's experiences. We ensured her safe arrival at her group home and accompanied her indoors. As I provided detailed information to the caregivers, I noticed the woman's intense gaze fixed upon me from the corner of my eye. Initially, I didn't think much of it. However, with time, she began pacing back and forth, maintaining an unbroken stare. Despite her age, she moved swiftly, and her behavior made me uneasy. I occasionally checked to see if her fixation on me had wavered. Meanwhile, my partner was deeply engaged in conversation with a caregiver due to the caregiver's youth and attractiveness. While my partner was preoccupied, I became increasingly concerned about the elderly woman's strange actions. Eventually, the woman caught me observing her, causing her to abruptly halt her movements. Oddly, despite the intense heat outside and the lack of air conditioning, a sudden chill ran down my spine. For what felt like an eternity, she continued to hold her gaze until she suddenly dashed into her room. Witnessing this, my partner urged me to ensure her well-being. Reluctantly, I followed my partner into a dimly lit room, illuminated only by faint hallway light. Upon entering, we discovered the woman sitting cross-legged in the center of her room, her back turned toward us. Calling out her name, we were met with a haunting sight that has left an indelible mark on my memory. Slowly, she rotated her head 180 degrees, fixing us with the same intense stare. Her eyes were entirely black, her skin even paler than before, and her mouth stretched wide open. In an instant, she emitted a chilling, deranged scream that reverberated throughout the room. Overwhelmed with fear, we hurriedly left for the living room, seeking answers from the caregiver. Strangely, the caregiver remained unmoved and unperturbed. When we questioned her about the incident, she casually remarked, "Oh, she does that quite often. Could you please take her back to the hospital?" Initially, we resisted, but the woman emerged from her room, complaining of neck pain. Following our protocols, we were obliged to provide treatment. Reluctantly, we prepared to transport her back, all the while mindful of her unsettling stare directed at me. Suppressing my emotions, I avoided her gaze, but unfortunately, I looked up and found her smiling directly at me. With a chilling tone, she uttered, "I truly despise that place," before turning away without uttering another word. We accompanied her to her room, provided a report to the nurse, and as we were departing, she walked out of her room, whispering, "See you in your nightmares," and letting out a sinister laugh while locking eyes with me. She wasn't mistaken. Since then, I've been haunted by numerous nightmares featuring her. While I sincerely hope she receives the vital assistance she needs, I also pray that our paths never cross again. I am currently employed within the realm of hospitality, working for a widely recognized and popular chain here in the UK. While I won't divulge the specific name, I must express that this job has proven to be the most gratifying of my career. The profound enjoyment I derive from my work, particularly during the night shifts, has come as a pleasant surprise. In the initial stages of the interview process, every detail resonated with allure and promise. However, a pivotal moment arose where the prospect of working entirely solo was unveiled. This revelation caused a palpable skip in my heartbeat, and for a fleeting instant, I contemplated turning down the offer. Nevertheless, opting to seize the position has, in retrospect, become a decision I wholeheartedly cherish. Approaching the 2-year mark of my tenure, I still find it incredulous that I hold this position. The camaraderie amongst the staff is unparalleled. The guests, in an overwhelming majority, 99.9% of the time, emanate pleasantness, and on the whole, my professional contentment knows no bounds. Inevitably, within every favourable circumstance, the less favourable aspects also come to the fore. I have navigated the complexities of challenging guests, those who return inebriated after a night of revelry, or even those who require removal due to their disruptive conduct, which poses a disturbance to other guests seeking repose. This dichotomy between the uplifting and the trying does not, however, deter my commitment to my role. Yet, there was an incident that transpired on a recent night which cast doubt upon my resolve. This occurrence unfolded a few weeks prior, etching an indelible mark on my memory. Arriving punctually to relieve the evening staff, I was briefed by the duty manager regarding an anomalous situation involving a couple occupying one of the rooms. The narrative she presented detailed their peculiar behavior during the dinner service. The couple, a man and a woman, temporarily vacated their room for a cigarette break, during which the man exhibited increasingly disruptive conduct, including aggressive physical contact with the restaurant windows, accompanied by a barrage of profanities and offensive hand gestures. The situation escalated when he procured a fire extinguisher from our storage space. The duty manager intervened, issuing a warning. Despite initial assurances that the situation had stabilized, the night soon took an unexpected turn. As the evening staff concluded their shift around 11:15 p.m., I undertook the responsibility of securing the premises, carrying with me the panic button, a precautionary protocol instituted by the management. Though never previously deployed, I felt a surge of gratitude for its presence that particular night. Engaging with my tasks, tidying up, preparing breakfast items, and tending to various responsibilities, by around 1:30 am, I found myself on the brink of a short respite. It was at this juncture that the sound of the hotel's door ajar reached my ears. Emerging from their room, the couple, evidently the same from the earlier episode, ventured out for another cigarette. Bearing in mind the details shared by the duty manager, the man's disconcerting behavior, and the vulnerability of being alone in the open environment, I gathered my belongings and retreated to the sanctuary of the office, where surveillance through the CCTV system could be maintained. As the night progressed, the woman, displaying visible distress, returned to their room. The man, however, embarked on a trajectory of increasingly bizarre behavior. His initial exploits were confined to dancing atop tables, before his activity expanded to encompass the restaurant at large. His eccentric foray extended to the lobby area, where he adopted statuesque poses, seemingly endeavoring to evoke unease in any potential observer. The passage of time witnessed the evolution of his actions from unconventional to overtly unsettling. Around 2:45 am, he embarked on the consumption of condiments, a development that further heightened the absurdity of the situation. By 3:25 am, he had disrobed, consumed condiments with abandon, and shifted his focus to the office door. The deliberate, measured manner in which he advanced toward the door, engaging in direct eye contact with the camera, and engaging in unsavory conduct, propelled my apprehension to an entirely new level. With a surge of urgency, I activated the panic button and established contact with the police, mindful to maintain a hushed tone to evade detection. I relayed a concise but coherent account to the dispatcher, requesting immediate police intervention. As the minutes stretched, his actions retained their unsettling nature. When the police arrived around 4 am, the dynamics of his behavior underwent a paradigm shift once more. Falling to his knees, he erupted in a vehement protestation of innocence. In the presence of law enforcement, I ventured forth from the office, heartened by their presence. The officers endeavored to communicate with the man, although a language barrier hindered effective interaction. Seeking access to the couple's room, they requested my assistance, and upon entering, an overpowering odor greeted us, an amalgamation of urine and excrement. The room itself was strewn with empty beer bottles and paraphernalia related to illicit substances. Tragically, the woman was found in a state of distress, her form drenched in urine and alcohol. Amidst escalating tensions and the arrival of additional police personnel, a van arrived to transport the man who had been arrested. Not long thereafter, a relative appeared to collect the woman. Apologies were proffered, alongside an explanation of their respective mental health struggles and their recent unexplained absence. As much as I endeavoured to empathise, the events I had borne witness to left me yearning for their departure. By 6:45 a.m, the premises were free from both the couple and the police presence. The arrival of the day manager necessitated the relaying of events and the sharing of the CCTV footage. Despite the profound disturbance of this encounter, my determination to continue working at the hotel persisted. This incident underscored the paramount importance of adhering to one's instincts and embracing safety protocols, such as the panic button. Had I hesitated or faltered in seeking refuge within the office, the ramifications could have been unfathomable.